Hi guys, yes, I'm going into day two. Very happy with my performance yesterday. It was a bit of a dogfight, but I got it done. So yeah, today I've got a seeded player and I need to win this match to get some ITF points, so I'll then be professionally ranked. Hair on my face, oh my god, annoying. Yeah, no, I'm feeling very positive today. I'm going to give it my best and that's all I can do. Just fight, give it my everything. My legs were playing up a bit yesterday, I think, where I got a bit passive towards the end of the set, just where I got a bit tight. I then started rallying, and then yeah, my legs started to seize a bit, cramp up. So today I'm gonna have to be quite attacking, and I mean I quite like doing that anyway. So I'm feeling good about that. Feeling very optimistic. Gonna make it tough for the opponent. I was feeling quite confident going into this match. I didn't feel like I had anything to lose, and I think that was because I'd won the previous day. So overcoming that hurdle was quite a big deal for me, and I then didn't have much pressure going into this. At the same time, though, I didn't feel good with the match that I won with the forehand, and I spoke about that in the match, and it's purely because technically I think there's problems, and I guess when you're playing at this tempo and against people that are this consistent, making it in isn't enough. It has to be damaging, and as you see, I arm all of my forehands. I have a very loose swing. It's very relaxed, but I don't engage the body. I don't bend down with the legs. I don't rotate through with the hips and rotate with the shoulders. And you can see here the opponent does that quite well. He's got obviously a lefty forehand, and he twists through. Whereas for me, my shot looks quite dandly, and I yank the ball. So I think that's why I struggle with consistency and timing, because sometimes I'll get a really good connection on the ball, and other times I can't really connect. I mean, you see there, it's very passive and it's not doing any damage. So yeah, it was tough to start the match like that, and it kind of yeah, very slow start, as you can see. I just it's a bit of a mental block. I think when you know a shot isn't going well, it's not just you wake up the next day and then it works. It's like it's quite a hurdle to overcome, and being back now, actually, I've been working on that with a coach. I've been working on the forehand, so it's good to do that, obviously, to come back and to improve. I think it's a combination of both the mental side and with the technical side. I think I did need some practice with the rotation, and I was using medicine balls in the coaching sessions to really engage with that movement and to get familiar with it. But then at the same time, I think it's the mindset, it's the intention, and I don't feel like I was very clear in this match. I kind of was playing good. I was like making balls in. I was I'm making it solid, as you can see right now. The backhand is actually connecting quite well, but it's not really doing anything. It's not, the opponent isn't being moved side to side, and that is because I'm not engaging and twisting through. So I can only get the trajectory down the middle on the forehand side. Great point there. I've been very consistent, and it's. I mean, I don't think people understand the difficulty of keeping engaged throughout a point when it's going for a long time, and it's not just hitting the ball in either. It's really crushing the ball. That's the tricky part, because the moment you let out a weaker shot, that's when you're punished for it at this level. So I guess watching this back, it's obviously a great insight, because I'm feeling things on the court, and one of them was obviously the forehand, but it's really good to actually see that in front of me, because then, like I said, going into coaching and trying to improve, I can see all of the things I need to work on. So that was obviously very beneficial, and it's also good for all of you to see the level and how I'm playing. And I mean, it's useful to get feedback in the comments as well, because I think actually match play and commentary, it does help with improvement, compared to not sharing my matches online. I think you get lots of different opinions, and especially when it's from people that have not knowledge of the sport, that's when it's quite useful. So yeah, I mean, I personally feel very optimistic. I would say that the level in this match so far is decent. As you can see, I'm hitting the ball with a lot of depth on the backhand side. So the backhand is really actually working quite well, but then you see the forehand, it's like it just isn't doing anything. It's like I'm kind of the backhand's carrying me through the match so far. Because I don't have the confidence, as you can see, when the opponent's hitting it to me on the forehand side, I'm not going through it. I'm just brushing the ball upwards. It's not a connection going through the shot. It's like leaning back. It's doing a low to high swing, almost like I guess a brushing motion, a flicking motion, and that's why it doesn't get the depth and the width and the precision that it needs, because you're not rotating through. You're not getting the ball across where you want it. The arm can only do so much. Good examples there. It's like I'm very upright with the body. I'm not set down in the ground, so actually I'm losing power. If you think like the shot and the power is through mass, through the ball, and at the moment it's my racket that's the mass, and that's where the pace is generated. So I'm losing out on a lot of mass because the body isn't being utilized in the way that it should. And I think that's the only separation right now. It's like these guys that are at that level above, they don't hit better necessarily, but their biomechanics are to a T, and I'm not quite there yet. And it's close. Like the backhand, I'm really happy with that. The serve, really improving with that. And overall, I do see a lot of progress, but obviously if one shot isn't quite where you want it, you're already at quite a disadvantage. So I was kind of going into this with it, I guess, against me, because I'm working the backhand, but it just isn't. It's not doing enough, because I found that I would set up the shot and then the forehand would not. See there, it's not good enough really. It's quite poor. The forehand isn't executing the way I'd like it to. So yeah, it was really difficult. And I think actually the reason why this was more tough, and why actually yesterday's win was more tough than it needed to be, is because when a shot isn't going how you'd like it to, you're not feeling comfortable, and you're not feeling very clear, and it doesn't feel like there's much intention, you get really sidetracked. You stop thinking about the actual match, and you start. Like I felt like a lot of my energy was being used on the negatives, in regards to how the forehand was being, and I didn't actually then have the capacity to also think about game plan, intention, all of these things, because I'm just overthinking the forehand the entire match, and that actually is what causes the roller coaster of the levels that I'm playing. Because one moment I'm feeling quite bad about the forehand and it goes really passive, and then the next I'll be like, screw it, let's just go for it, and then I'd hit quite a good few forehands, and then I'd go for too much. So there's no middle ground, and that's why I can't find the consistency at that level. And I guess it's really good to work these things out. I wouldn't have known this unless I played these matches, because I think playing at the lower level, if you play at the regional or national level, you can kind of get away with it. Like sometimes I wouldn't connect with the forehand and it's fine, like because the opponents aren't as strong. But at this level, you can't not have a shot working. You have to be nailing each shot. You have to be so committed to each shot. And I think it's the feeling of letting go. You can obviously see on the backhand side that I'm able to hit the ball and really, like, my body it flows freely through the shot, whereas the forehand, it looks like I'm nudging the ball in the court. I'm almost pushing it. I'm guiding it with my arm, and it's not like being released. And that's the problem I'm having. As you can see, it's like I'm in this match so far, I'm winning points, but it's only really from his cheap errors. So it's not. I'm not really playing the way I'd want to play. That isn't my game. Obviously, I want to outwork the point and make them miss, but I do like to step. I like to counter punch, and I don't feel like I can do that just because I don't have the clarity and the confidence with a certain shot. So it's really tough and quite irritating actually, because you just feel like you're at a complete disadvantage from when the match starts. It's like you just haven't got a big shot to use, and I think the clay highlights that, because I guess with hard and with acrylic-y kind of courts and low bouncing courts, it's easier to connect because you have a compact swing. The ball bounces shoulder height or below, so it's quite a comfortable area to swing from. Whereas on the clay, everything kicks up, so the forehand for me is worse in these conditions, because as I'm not engaging my body, I'm actually hitting the ball at a higher position, and I'm therefore not balanced. I'm upright on the shot, and you end up arming the ball more. At least when it's compact and it's low, there you can make a clean connection, and it's obviously within your range. It's shoulder height. It's quite nice. Here I'm just struggling. I mean, that shot there, I'm just like, how am I missing that? I've hit a good forehand, and then I think because I'm on edge about the shot, I've then blasted a shot to get the point done, and it's like, I want to get to a point where it feels like the backhand, where I can really nail a few shots, and I don't feel this urge to smack it away. I want to feel like I can stay in the point. I can attack relentlessly. If you watch a Demon or a Ferrer, even a Djokovic, they don't hit loads and loads of winners. They're very patient. They hit very heavy. They hit very quick. Take time away. They counter punch. They don't hit winners every single point. And when they do get the short ball, it isn't necessarily always one shot that's hit away, and it's a few, or they come into volley. So I think it's finding that patience with that. But overall, I was happy with how well I fought. I didn't give up, and you can see in this match, I'm trying to make it tough, but I'm just doing no damage right now. I'm not doing anything that's earning me the points, and that's why I'm struggling in this match. I was happy with the serve at points. I think 2 or 3 minutes ago you saw that I'd hit 2 aces in a row. I would never have done that before, and it's where I've worked a lot on the serve. But like I say, these things only get you so far. You need to have every shot in the book, and I'm sure you can see that here. The difference with having every shot and not. It's like, I mean, this isn't my game right now. You see, I'm really raising up on the forehand. I'm flicking the ball up. That isn't how I play. But it's like, you just feel lost when something isn't working. You just try and scramble for anything that you can find, and it looks like a decent shot, but it's not really doing anything. It's not getting the opponent out to where I need them to be. That's frustrating. I felt like the last 2 forehands I did connect with a bit better, and then like I said earlier, I'm rushing for that winner. I miss the ball after the hard work's done, and yeah, it's tough to take, because this all requires a lot of energy. It's these shots and these rallies, they're not easy, especially, I mean, it's 30 degrees, so the conditions are brutal. You have the sand in your hair, all the dust is coming up, your socks are filthy with clay, your face is burning, you're really hot from the 30 degrees. There's no wind. It's really brutal, and I felt like I managed it okay. As you see there, I've just clocked off. It's tricky. I'm not meaning to do it. Like, I've not willingly chosen to clock off there. It's just when you're playing so aimlessly, you then can't find any rhythm. You can't find any ground to fall on, because you're just constantly, I guess, second guessing everything you're doing. And I didn't looking back, you can see it. I'm not really sure how to win points. Like, I'm hitting the ball in, but I don't look clear with how I'm winning the points. So it's just strange, and it was weird because the match didn't feel difficult. it didn't feel like I was losing the match, but I was, and that is just a really strange feeling. I didn't feel like I was being pushed that hard. The guy obviously made me think, but in terms of the tennis being hit towards me, I didn't feel like I was under that much pressure from it. I just think where I was lacking in my field, that's what made it difficult. I felt like I was battling myself, and I think I'm going to have that for a while. It's like I'm going to have to keep competing, keep working on the forehand, keep working on everything, make sure that I'm using my body, and this hurdle will become easier over time. I'm sure of it. And points like that, I'm not happy with that. He's basically given me a cheap forehand in the net that he should have made, and it's like if I'm just winning points from that, it's just not good enough. I can't be just settling with making balls in and then, oh look, they've missed. It's poor, and I think it makes it easier for the opponent, because when I'm not feeling good and I'm not feeling confident on the shot, obviously everything goes downhill. Consistency, rhythm, the intent goes down. You don't have any clue what you're doing. And when there is that tension at the start of a match, when it's 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, if you give them a lead and they break and it goes from 2-1 to 3-1, instead of holding serve to make it 2-2, then the opponent will just completely annihilate you from that point onwards, if they're any good, because they'll hold serve. That's 4-1, and by the time that you've played them games, you're then 3-4 behind, and it happens out of nowhere. So I think I've learned a lot of it is keeping that tension from the start. It's like, if they play a good game, can I then hold serve to make it 1-0, to make it 2-0, 3-0? Because that tension, that pressure of it being a tight scoreline does make the opponent miss. But as soon as you give that gap, that's when the opponent will play more freely, and that's what happens here. I felt like at the start it was actually quite toe-to-toe, and then because obviously I'm just not making enough balls, and he's worked me out, I'm just hitting the ball in the court with no pressure. It's easy. I'm making his life easy. So it's I mean, you see there, it's just to completely tee the shot because there's nothing to lose for him. So yeah, it's really good to learn from this, and it's only going to help me improve. I know it. It's a big step compared to previous tournaments, and like I said, happy to get my first win. I know I'm going to come back firing. We have some tournaments soon, so overall, could be better. There's a lot of work that needs doing. I'm not going to lie, but I've seen progress, a bigger step of progress. So I'm going to keep going, and soon I should be able to beat a player like this. So yeah, on to the next tournament.